never a care. We two were wrapped in a misty enchantment, and yet a voice called, beware. What strange kind of witchcraft had found us and tingled around us there? In this crazy dream I was dreaming, mysterious, revealing. Old memories had returned to confuse me. Then new fantasies spinning round would pursue me. Then far away I heard you say, come back.
I'm the witch finder, nobles of the North Star, the Nike Nautica, the winter wizard. She used Kundalini to try to kill me. Her kind heart kissed me deadly on Angel Avenue, up Nightmare Valley. During the God's rally, I pronounced paragraphs proudly. Jewels in my head, you gotta imaginate tools to find them. I'm terrified of my tangerine-colored tigers. The shoe bill stalked ghosts. I drove my car out of sleep to daydreaming. I was just staring, willed myself into existence. I nearly drove myself to the brink of insanity. My gear shift, I'm at the cliff cause I know the ledge, cause it's all in my head. Man with the key, plead insanity. I got out my mental card and walked close to the edge, then jump right into another subject. Above, the sky's black, the moon's fat, that's gluttonous. Then I look down at the ground, it's all red like the walls, that's a blood fest. What do you know, it looks like the vampire fairy was here.
My dreams, someone speaks, can't resist the sound, which draws me deep down into the night. Someone sees in my ear, you are mine, my dear. I need you and are we two are one. Oh,
After they flood the planet, the sons of Aaron was in the sub-Saharan. Now we stomp through Brownsville, Mother Gaston. That's right above Atlantic, coming from Atlantis, where priests kill kings and gutted dragons. Drugs in fashion, blasting automatics. The dead do not dance. You cannot choreographic, watch my horror madness. Tiptoe through terror while Satan sleeps. Pagan priests prayed as they made the graven beast. Let the ravens release. July, August, September, October, November. That's the acronym for Jason, as in Jason the Greek. That's the month, now let's do the 7 days of the week. Sunday, sun worship. Monday, moon. Tuesday, Tyr, the god of war. Wednesday, Woden or Odin. Thursdays for Thor. Friday, Freya, is when Islamic and Israelites face the East. Say they grace but won't eat. Saturday, the worship of Saturn. See the pattern? Information begins gathering. I start my transfiguration at my mastering. What's happening? Priest got a mic, he's tapping in. Delphine lights up, his head ignites catechins. Blood splatter, people scattering. Savage, plastic, grafted skin. Rap gods feel the wrath of men. My rap is sin. Poison pen, boys to men. I'm poised within, move like noiseless wind. All you see is the pool and the koi that swim. It was them from the oldest schools who anointed him. They sung with voices and hymns. My voyages is in, but my swords do not bend. So hide till I find you. Then it's the skull and the spine grinder. It's raining blood inside the diner. Grab your neck, you scream in the A minor. You push me and I push you, but there's an open grave behind you. Before you fall in, let me first put you in the coffin. Play organs, this is my offering. and those architects, ancient builders of Babylon, demonizing demolition, draconian technology. The Titans training Edomite avatars, reptilian Republicans, angelic Ansars. The Nation 9 on Nassau, Egyptian cat guards and cattle guards. We on camels, camouflage. The age is analog, tarot cards, mystic. Shows two men, one an empath, one narcissistic. Perishing planet, prison paradise, parasites. I'm a macabre mechanic, copper around Tanzanite. The lamps ignite in the sacred chamber, the snake's anger. Then the voice said, read the walls ahead, there's great danger. May you find profound peace, crown priest. May the gods find favor, grants me a wager. Osiris on the side of Isis as she goes into labor. She held Horus, Mary holds the savior. Invaders from the Caucasus, now they owe us 40 acres. Hide out in Panama, Zebulon Noriega. Check it. I'm the purification priest that ascended into heaven. The 7 brilliant lessons are manifested of answers and man questions of ancestors and adolescents. Turn matter into unleavened bread. 500 were fed for 5 loaves. I wrote and diagnosed to die for most. My writing promotes writers to choke. Fresh fire and smoke. My thoughts provoke desire to quote. Thought-provoking lines in my notes. Move crowds like cows. Have you not heard? I'm a tall mountain to climb. I am the GOAT. Greatest of all timing. The lighthouse in the fog, up the stairs with the chainsaw. Near the old lodge, left brains on the wall. Blood stains on the floor, rainfall, empty gas station store. Zombies awake from the morgue, hide in the cemetery. Feels like you've been here before. The man in the window with a headless hog, headless dog. He peers through the window, pulls down the shade. You become afraid. Look down, there's a plot with an open grave. The headstone says your name. You back up slowly with chest pains, reoccurring migraines. Try to explain the unexplained. Welcome to my plane. I arrive with a cane, dressed in all red. Please call me mystery. I guess you are dead. I saw his ghost freeze as I started counting heads. Mr. Howell, you was found on the bed with a body full of lead. You were with a chick, she was hung from a spread. Someone got into your shed. His face fell faint. He turned pale then blue. He said, I can't recall. What did I do? He said, this is not happening. This can't be. I said, come with me so you can see a better view. Just us two, standing over his dead body. He said, now I recall, it was me and the chick. We stumbled into the lobby. Kinda sloppy. It was after this party about 4 in the morning. Rain was pouring. I remember the strange look in the eye of the doorman. Then she, wait, it was you. Your eyes, the swarms of flies came out of my flesh as it turned to black ashes. It's sorta divine, the horror divide. Spirit from body, slaughtered the swine, turn water to wine. Now fall in the line, turn back, turn to soft, fine grind. It's all in the mind, close encounter of the 4th kind. I write grim tales of chemtrails. My recorder feels like a move from Jordan Peele. Give you more than chills. The suspense is a horror bill. It's intense, it's the more I kill. Kiss the ring before you kneel. I'm the Lord on this throne. Feel with your kidney stones. Skies misty, Sherlock Holmes. I lift is the ox with the octave tone. That's Katie's baby. Bring around the Rosie. Don't bring around the Hopi. Gold wings around the old priests. Holies of holies. The first astronauts came to the Church of Antioch.
Stop where you are. How dare you force your way into my castle like this? What do you want here?
I want to apologize. We didn't think anyone lived here, that's all.
It's no excuse for trespassing. I don't like having my privacy disturbed.
I'm sorry, sir. You're quite right. My name is Parks. I'd like to explain. We've been scouting for suitable locations to photograph material for book jackets. I'm a publisher.
That's no concern of mine.
Look here, I'd like to show you one of my books. I'm preparing an anthology of horror.
He told you to stay where you were.
We took the liberty of coming in here, only because no one answered our knocking at the door.
I don't like intrusion. I insist that you leave my castle immediately.
Could you make just one exception? We've been on the road for several days. Everybody's so tired.
I don't want any visitors here.
I'd be only too glad to pay, of course.
Pay? Now you're beginning to annoy me, Mr. Parks.
I know my friend didn't mean to offend you, and we ask you to forgive us.
On your feet, everybody. You've been told to shove off. The master of the house doesn't like having visitors around.
I tend to meet Ishtar, fish god, Swiss cards. She sung a note high pitch, every eye lift, wrist from guitars. Her hair was thick as she stared into the audience, which for her was a bit large. A room full of politics and big stars, toothpicks and caviar. The room was thick and lit up with cigars. They had nuts and Ritz, drinks were mixed at the bar. I'll take a vodka and a spritz as she sits with no bra. Cigarette on her lips as the bartender picks out a jar. Twist a lemon. She take a sip, leave a tip, then we dip to the dance floor. They put a groove on. She swung me, then sung me a new song. In the house of shadows, this woman from Babel, having from the ballroom to the dungeon of a castle. I bear witness to the coming of the Absu. Taboo, I'm in prison here for over 1 million years. Now like 1 trillion years. I should've known when I kept winning bets. Strange women sex, spinning checks, success. For months the same meal, toast salad with vinaigrette. I don't even smoke and every morning I had a cigarette. That's when she approached me in a linen dress, see-through with fishnets. Her hair was twisted with cherry barrettes, lips wet. You ready, my pet? Heavy eye test. She says, look, I'ma raise the dead and bring them up to overrun the earth and eat the living. Never disregard, my name is Ishtar. I came here to feast on children. I'm queen of the demon, I'm here for your semen. I woke up screaming, barely breathing. Was I just dreaming? Nightmare, black room, white chair, a fat moon right there. It's 3:33 a.m. Pagan, hallelujah, amen. Glory, glory. Jezebel, Dead Israel, Gilgamesh, gatekeepers, snake creatures, fate speakers of the planet Risk gods. My secret meeting with Ishtar. Erishkigal's kingdom in splendid dress, only to be compelled at each of 7 gates to shed a piece of her regalia. Finally, Inanna falls naked and powerless before Erishkigal, who hangs her up like so much meat upon a drying hook. Drought descended upon the earth as a result, but the gods help revive Inanna.
No one and nothing seems able to stop him. Invincible, invulnerable.
The House of Reptilians, the United Snakes Congress had a conference with the Blonde Prince and his team of Elohim beings in the upper kingdom of celestial lights with these devil-like queens, black, purple, and green, sexual type, agreeables and disagreeable, peaceful, question, what is evil? I am your twin flame, we form the yin and yang. She had the forked tongue with the biggest fangs. I pulled the arrow, man turned bull, an animal, a Taurus that lived in the forest, now appeared in the orbits. As I recall it, There was a stampede, but I was good cause I'm Comanche. Coordination with eye and hand speed. Beneath the sky of 12 families, we sat down and ate the lamb, Aries, the son of man from the house on the prairie. The holy water came from a spout. Since the drought, it was doused on top of the dry bones that were buried. Behold, the beast that's lying down was a Leo. The heart chakra replaced for the ego. Ta-da, voila, I came from space for the people. In the image of the invisible all. The Nafal, near fall. At our birth we are fire. At our death we are waterfalls.
No one and nothing seems able to stop him.
Someone may hear me. Hold on to love. Hold on to love. But beware of men who became beasts of prey. Many are they. Child without a soul, men without a heart. They're one hungry goal to tear your life apart. How many are they? Don't try to find out. Stay away. They are without shame. This is not a game.
They said I've been around since BC. I visited a tribe of vampire native Indians inside their teepee weekly. Around 6 o'clock, the chief used to perform this healing called Reiki. After 6 minutes, 6 seconds, he always used to pick me. I told him the mummy kings in the Sahara were kindreds. He showed me metaphysics. I told him about my Nebula visits. He held up his right palm and said, I heard the album, it was clever written. Then I held up my right palm like Mr. Spock and said, forever mystics. Then we all howled like wolves. Then we took off into the woods. I followed their trail. The back of their tails, the moon was pale as I heard the elk yelp and squeal. As the chief turned back towards me with the elk's head in his mouth, fed on it vicious. At peace as I released, as I sat down and spoke to a Nairobian priest. He told me his tribe was from this sky, and that the flesh that I'm staring at is only a disguise. Then he grabbed his head, pulled his skin off. There was nothing there. Have you ever heard the wind talk? His words just came from mid-air. My legs became uncrossed. He said, I am, we are the sun force. I said, well, how did we come here? How did you disappear? How did you become aware? He said, interesting, please share some thoughts. Then lifted I up mine eyes and looked, and behold, there came out 2 women. And the wind was in their wings, for they had wings like the wings of a stork. And they lifted up the ephod between the earth and the heaven, and then they slammed it down to the ground. And when it broke, I awoke from my meditative state and stared at the ghost and said, Mazel Tov. Alfred Hitchcock on a switchboard with a witch sword, follow source.
Strange love, tender and burning, love you've ever been yearning. How you ache to return this strange love.
She's Africa's Dracula. There's no queen that's black as her. Killed many kings, lead massacres. Her red lips pucker, bloodsucker. She wears a long duster, never eats supper. She howls at the moon, wow, she prowls in the nude. She can see a child in the womb, then hides in the afternoon. Sacred native, naked in the bathroom. Her coffin covered with paintings of ravens and baboons. She's bad news after they call her a black coon. In the morning time, she's a statue. In the evening, she moves. Mona Lisa, the creature from the lagoon. The magician Egyptian. The Philistine is still a queen. She'll take your head like a guillotine. The Kundalini genie is from Killah's team. She wears crosses and eat garlic. Throw salt over your back, it goes right into a porridge. Then she leaves into the forest and leaves you there as carnage. She can see into your conscience, perceive that you are haunted. We both sleep upside down, we turn into bats, then fly into the night. Around holy Mount Zion, she transforms into a python. I transform into a man in all white with a hat and a tie on. Greetings. In this chest, my heart, there's no beating. Eyes are like demons. My pet wolves over there feasting. Pull her covers back while she's sleeping. She's quiet, but my knife starts screaming. Here she comes from the night. She's so black, there's no light. They so black before she bites. She haunts slave owners. Her first name is Mona. Use black clay for a sculpture. I'll call her Nursad. monster. Get the stake and the hammer, the silver bullets. The research camera revealed the bull flicks. The village worship on a pulpit. Nights in the woods, eyes of the wolves lit. There she cries in the mist, pointing fingers, she stood stiff. Around her was an oxbow, behind her was a foxhole. Beside her were apostles. She said, call me Akasha, and her hair was the Nagas. She had feet of a bear and her hair was the Nahashas. It was rare, no one else was there but priests and the watchers.
Love me deadly, kiss me deadly. This very special love can never be. Touch me deadly, hold me deadly. Look in my eyes and tell me what you see.
Skeleton with the top hat. The devil opened up a cigar pack. Offers me one, I take off and run through demons and large bats. Pitch black, I run through the cobs, stepping over the garage rats. Some running over the bloody sink with the broken dishes, where the mop's at. Along the walls with the feet of a bear, head of a lion, and skin of a bobcat. I saw a drum set and a guitar rack, and Ozzy Osbourne posters all over, and Dracula by Bram Stoker. Next I saw a heavy metal band. The one that was on the mic stand was beneath the Ram sculpture. They all were dressed like the Queen of the Damned, the movie. Next I'm in the brewery with groupies. Took some X, a couple of Xans with some fans. This girl with purple hair was bipolar. She slides over with a diet soda. Said nice to know ya. Hands me vodka after 5 Coronas. Sip this, Nicodemus, trick the demons. I missed the Phoenix, my trip to Venus. Cosmic Masonic Lodge in Haiti. Upside down is how they hung the lady, then cut out a baby. When Dracula bites, he never asks for gravy.
Beat me to the water, and I'll jump right in. Make sure it's warm and bubbly, soft against my skin. Don't treat me like a lady, 'cause that's not what I am. Ain't no kind of lady could ever satisfy a man.
I come as a tree with a wind coat. My hands keep vanishing out my sleeves into thin smoke. Pulled by lions in a chariot of fire from a ghostly kingdom was my intro. I'm from a race called the heavy mentalist. My mementos was that I came through spinning cosmos. In dark holes I met Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I and Daniel are identical. I'm going crazy, I'm in a cult with some ladies from Haiti. But to add insult, I wrote till my pen broke to invoke the insult on impulse. I feel the ends close, so I engulf into Zen quotes and what Dr. Ben spoke, and all of the gods and the ancestors and the kinfolks. This is not a belief, I transcend hope. Hurricanes and rose petals blowing from the forest. You left your mind open, I'm walking right into your conscious. The rainbow man holding a paintbrush. My legs are spray paint cans with crayons for fingers, writing in technicolor. Imagination sketching the forever, then putting specks of vanilla in the nebula. Meteor storms, it's raining under my umbrella. Form the sun elders. Cranberry vampire, raspberry soda and porno magazines. Legs show expo. She's in a pink Ferrari, call her Tiamat the Dragon Queen. Her ears with bat wings, she licks on her lemon ice cream. She lives in a dollhouse that turns black when the fog's out. Her grandmother's shadow follow her into the castle. She wears open-toe glitter sandals, there's a statue of Tammuz. Bandana tied on her head as she whispers over candles. I'm holding a small chain watch while drinking beet juice. Then I sit down, legs crossed, I want a divorce. Then she comes out the shadow wearing the sexy apparel that's see-through, holding a peach fruit. Then my chair turned to glue, the floors turned to goo, the room turned purple and blue. She said, I hope this works for you. Undunguna, Nutimut, Her behind was like a juicy fruit. Then her tears came down like wine into bamboo shoots. She stirred up my mind. My third eye lit up in techno-color. My ex-lover, she liked sex and latex and rubbers. She said she liked the way that they stretch as she lay naked on covers. She said, pretend you're a mugger, and I'm a helpless lady. Please, someone save me. The thought made me go crazy. She popped out an onyx yoni egg. She said, hold me closely is the only way. Unholy, I held both her legs. Wooden spoon and a cherry sundae. Whipped cream with screams, plums and berries entree. Then she took off in a car with a mummy wrapped in strawberry taffy. All her monster friends were made out of candy. They bite your neck, increase your blood sugar. I grabbed the pillow, fell to the floor, I think I'm dying. Low iron, I'm haunted by a glucose ghost. Turned into table salt, I'm a corpse. Unshovel the grave, pull a suit off the body, fitted on mine, Judgment Day Illuminati, light a rose petal cigarette. I take a puff, then I pluck, I'm that raw devil's biggest threat. I stare at the judge till he flared with blood. I was unprepared, she was here for the drugs. Beware the grudge, bodies cut up, underwear on the rugs. Mollies and such, gold chandeliers above. The blaze is spinning slower and slower. I fade into a coma, it's over. I wake up, blood everywhere, head in my hand. Looks like the work of a madman, gone insane. Bodies on her springs, haunted things, then her alarm rings. I got up, dragged her corpse, the head was off. Only if the dead could talk, and with no camera support, I leave it to dreadful thoughts. She was a woman of the cloth, he was a man of the cross, part of the 10%. They weren't innocent, they were poisoning the ignorant and the lost, till they both got caught and felt my force. No remorse, I'm in the tabernacle, is raining outside the stained glass windows. The one with the head of a jackal and dark sands has crystals. Who wrote these epistles? The one with the KP initial. My blade be official, it ripped through a tissue. Since a baby, the doc said there may be some issues. Never laugh or tickle. Psychopath, my stare was cold as icicle. I never disappoint when I said I will get you. Now I'm behind you with the scalpel when it drizzle. For months I let the beef pickle. Now I'm on a train through Spain while the detectives try to solve the riddle. This Adam apple had no seeds in the middle. To the detectives, never believe what you see, just a little. You might have thought you glanced at me in the stadium as the referee blows the whistle. Then on mountain skis, know I'm following you home, holding a pistol. As you pull out your keys, I sneak up behind you real slow. Put the gun to his spine, horror run through his mind. You been looking for me, let's go. He wakes up along the ride, it's been a long drive. I told him I knew you a long time, you was just a pawn on the wrong side. We pulled up to a gate, I made a push in the cold. The gates opened up, a bunch of cars on the lawn. Time for them all to die. There was a statue of an owl, I blindfolded them, we went inside.
Are you from Silo, Minnesota?
Why, yes.
Do you know the Lakeview House?
Oh, the little hotel down on the Deerfield Road.
Where they make those wonderful pies.
My goodness, how do you know about it?
I did an article. My name is Elaine Callisher. I work for the Travelers Review.
Oh, how nice. Moselle Beecher.
That's a beautiful crystal.
It came from Sedona. Oh, I'll bet you're here for the convention.
What convention?
Crystals.
No, I don't know anything about it.
Oh, I'm surprised it's the biggest one in the country. You know, it would make a wonderful article for your magazine.
Maybe it would.
Here you are, Miss Beecher, the key to 871, and your room is ready.
Maybe checking in with us, ma'am.
Yes, I will. Hello, I'm Elaine Callisher.
Oh, yes, Miss Callisher. We've been expecting you.
Raspberry blood, underwater warrior, savage love, dark jigsaw jungle, the stars and moon sits above. I'm in a purple room where red tigers pick a cub, said the merchant I met at the pub. And behind these curtains are wine, exotic women and drugs. I walked in, above was red and purple bubs. Below were these exotic rugs, small mahogany tables with fine leaves with tea and these shrubs. A fishnet gloved hand came over my right shoulder. Big beautiful red lips whispered in my ear, let's have some bud. My shoulder shrugged. I asked why, she said because, such a cute tiger cub. May I hold it? I see you trying to resist. Is this your first time inside the hub? You're so tense. Then gave me a quick kiss, then insist that I sit. She said, here, try this or take a sip. In a moment I was drenched. My mind started to drift. I was in a room full of playmates, a black belt, a professor and a comic, and a Hindu lady. Is Mr. Heavy Mental going crazy? The dragon enters into the den of the Chinese cult. The reflection of the light made the room seem like it was lime green smoke. Then out of nowhere, here comes the mermaid majesty. The herbs laid gradually inside of a tray as the cat purred and played happily. She asked, have you heard of the Maccabees? Her face looked disturbed, then savage passion as she started passing the tea. She said, this saddens me. My heart rate increased rapidly like an athlete as her eyes being beyond dreams distracted me. In the full moon, it bloomed in a beautiful room of tapestry. She showed aggression passively. I'll kill her at noon. Primeval princess, I was caught in her web of desire. The moth is about to be fed to the spider. Black widow nympho, she reacts on impulse. I peeped the ways through the incense smoke. Her beauty was hid like the cobra on the breast of the mummy when you lift the coffin lid inside the left of the pyramid. Her sex was mysterious. Her neck was the Tower of Babel. Her breasts were luxurious. Her ears and navels had such piercings. I touched her earrings. Let us settle our differences. I was on her sexual premises. Extraterrestrial love unlimited. Her lips were beet red. That turned sour in an hour. Fermented, demented positions. Switching. Within minutes, the daughter of Babylon has risen.
Yo, Killah Priest, yo. That shit's hard, yo. Yo, keep going, Priest. Keep going, Priest.
Cranberry blood. No story.
And in the great museums of the world hang the work of the master artists of another age, giving mute testimony to the horrors of sorcery and witchcraft.
From Killah to Kabbalah priest, my hair turned silver like the gods of the Odyssey. Between two pillars of ivory, my anthology. My sign is fiery in astrology, but my moon sign's in Aquarius, so I came to flow and flood from Genesis to Deuteronomy. I eat up rappers, I'm in God degree. I came to lay it down like the man with the holes in his hand that did carpentry. Pardon me, I'm partially a Martian MC. So here's my artistry. Noblemen, Ethiopians, Nomos with the cocoa skin. From the ethers with the robes on them. I just went rogue again. Cathedrals play the oldest hymns. I look medieval when I hold the pen. Call me General Galaxy Gems or Sergeant Satellite Stargate. Super spirited sunshade. Mr. Mirror, Master Craftsman makes you imaginate. Dr. Dreams, divine dictator, developer of rhyme schemes. The enchanted evangelist, Lord. Messiah, sire, squire, writer. Thine own blood shall be required. Wizard Walter the First, the nation of gods in the earth, statue in the yard of the church, the icon painting behind the fire. Be inspired after my bars are researched, rehearsed, till you see the ebony empire rebirth. Lord, the Hierophant in the tarot, Prince of Arrow, the tribal dance, burn candles, sing carols, then chant from the castle, place lamps on the mantle, as I enhance as I'm channeled, then relax as my hand move. The scriptures that I write, Lord, call me Killah Pineal, priest of the Most High, sacrificial goat tied to wild oak while the smoke rise. I spoke wise and judge the fourth chamber. pillars of danger. The rains of blood became a flood, still bringing my singers, my entertainers. The meta nature, the Kether, I engulf the Ein Sof, the priesthood letters surround my seat with scepters. At my feet are lepers. I am Master Mahout, the kingly kingdom. Kingship is my roots. The great understanding believer in Bina. You're just a man, I'm the universe. Either the ether is between us, or it's my council of cherubs, the Teferet of merits. On my chest is a scarab. Beneath the heart of kindness, the Kesed is my message, and the rhymes are always timeless. The giver of Givra, judgment, blood rinse in the river. Glorious, victorious, Netzach. Come down, bless my raps, no setbacks. Behold my splendor hold, the abode, my foundation you sowed. My wisdom's the hokmah of our culture, and I'm not writing poetry, these are scrolls. The Coral Castle, draconian domes, built around the immortal statues, that's taboo. The tablets I possess lead me towards the firestones, and the 110 riders and priests, the empire seats the Messiah's throne. The unknown, sun tone, beings that resonate the color of the trombone, brass. But as if it was burnt in a furnace, learn of the worm and the serpent, and the inner workings, hope it give you discernment. We choose from the righteous or the sinner version. I write to lift the burden off the children of the urban, so disturbing. So I hit the herb then, sip the bourbon. The mix makes me a different person. Damn, I better go get some nourishment. Above me is the Uranus universe in the Sagittarius sky. The reptilian's replica of the nebula. The Mercury macabre messenger. Extraterrestrial Tesla. To Mecca and Israel is peppered. Forget the necklace, I'm with the treasure. Grace is sustained in honor. Faces aflame with horror. Graves encased with martyrs. We all came from space, made from stardust. All aboard the large bus, we took charters. When we get there, I'll take the helicopter. My melanin the color of copper. And the 12 Israel, tree of life Kabbalah. The Zohar, Zodiac, Zigzag Zig, Zoroastrian Zealot. Archives of the Abyssinian African relics. Disciple of Dravidians, Hammurabi's helmets. Chakras sparkled all around me like the gloves of Michael Jackson. The jacket of Liberace and the robes of Elvis. From my crown to right below my pelvis, I'm sitting in the row of elders, chastising those rebellious that chose their errors. The selfish in hell's pit, souls were jealous. Bad deeds that the tarot reads, with Pharisees and Sadducees. The man with bees, the lad with leaves, and the sand of thieves, land and sea. The seasons came annually, calm light sneaking up on us slow like a manatee. Love for all humanity, what's your brand of tea? I already ate the ages and drunk vanity. I vomit the 9 planets and the comets, men, women, and garments, the gods and the goddess family tree. I'm quarantined in the pandemic when my hands are free. The black treasurer, rap developer, back to the nebula.
Answering service.
Frank Cutter, any messages?
Did Mr. Macklin reach you?
Yes, did he call back again?
No, sir. No other call.